Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be me showing you how I wash my delicate cashmere jumper. So hopefully it will help you if you've got any delicates to wash, be it cashmere or wool. The jumper I'm going to show you today is from ida.l.iversen. It's 100% cashmere, so it needs to be washed by hand. I hope you find the video helpful. If you do, please do subscribe and do give me a thumbs up, and let's get going with the video. So the first thing you need to do then is just rinse through the sink or the item that you're going to wash your item with, just to clear out any sort of debris, any dust, any marks that might mark the jumper that you're washing. So I prefer to use the sink because I just find it easier, but you can also use a bucket or a basin or the bath if you're washing a bigger item, if you find that easier. Once you've given the sink a good rinse through, just test the water. So you want the water to be a cool temperature, so not too hot, not freezing cold, but just a nice cool temperature for delicates such as cashmere or wool. Once you've tested the water, just fill through the sink or the basin. You don't want it to fill it too high, but again, you don't want it to be not filled up enough. Just want it to be filled up enough that you can submerge the item that you're washing with ease. Once you've done that, you can use any baby shampoo. I've picked Johnson's. They are actual specialised detergents for cashmere or wool, but baby shampoo does the job exactly the same way, and I'd say it's about 10 times cheaper. So save yourself some coins and use baby shampoo. I've just used a couple of drops to test the waters. You can just add a bit more if you need a bit more bubbles. I just don't want to put too much to start with, so I always start with a little bit and then just add a little bit more as needed. Just make sure that's all mixed through. It's quite a fun bit to do really, just making bubbles. Try not to get it over the side of the sink like I have. Getting a bit too enthusiastic there. But yeah, just make sure that's all rinsed through so you don't have any sort of concentrated spots of shampoo. Next up, you just want to turn your item inside out. So you want to wash your jumpers or any item that you're washing inside out. And then what we're going to do is just lightly submerge the item in the water. So you want to notice here that we're not sort of vigorously swishing it around and rinsing it around in the sink. We just want to really use some careful sort of dabbing motions like I've done here. Just take off any rings or anything you've got that could snag your item because it's so delicate. I always forget to take off my ring, but it's a really good idea to do so. So just gently tap the item all the way around. Make sure you've kind of got the whole thing submerged. It will get clean, trust me. I know it doesn't seem like it, but just gently massage the item. You don't want to be rinsing, wringing, doing any of those kind of movements because these items are really delicate. Once you've done that, you want to leave it there for 10 minutes just to soak. It's been about 10 minutes now, so I just come back and drain that water. Again, just make sure anything that's come off the jumper, you just give the sink a little rinse. So now we're just going to make sure we've got the water cool again, and we're just going to rinse now the item until the water runs clear. So this is the first rinse. Similar to how we washed it before, we just dab away the bubbles and just clear through now, like we're rinsing our hair if you like from the shampoo, just to give this the first clean through, and we want to make sure we get all those bubbles out. as you can see, the water definitely hasn't run clear. It's still a little bit foggy, so I'm going to want to do another rinse, which I do now. That always makes me laugh, that bit. It always happens to me. Make sure if you've got a sink like mine, you don't start running the water until the plug's actually fully in. This is the second rinse, and you can see that the movements that I'm using are very gentle. I'm just now cleaning the care label or the label at the top of the jumper because that also has some marks on it. But you can see that I'm again just tapping and massaging, no extra vigorous scrubbing movements or anything like that. I think this could have sufficed as the second rinse, but I felt like it's a little bit cloudy still, so it wouldn't hurt just to do one more rinse. So on the final rinse now, the jumper is getting nice and clean. It's always really worrying when you've got such a delicate jumper submerged in so much water. You think, is this ever going to get dry? But don't worry guys, as I'll show you later on in the video, it does actually get dry. But we're just finishing off the last rinse then. I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. The water is still pretty clear, and I'm just giving that label at the back of my neck one little last clean through before I drain the sink. So I'm just pressing dry the jumper as much as I can. No wringing at all guys, don't wring your jumper, just press it dry to get rid of any excess water. So just leave the jumper in the sink for a moment and go and get yourself a clean towel, lay that flat, and then lay your jumper flat on the towel. I'm going to cross the arms over because what we're going to do is roll the jumper dry. So just cross the arms over. You want it to start maintaining its shape now, so make sure it's nice and flat and there's not any crinkles anywhere. And then as you can see I'm doing, just roll the towel over the jumper because this is going to soak up any excess moisture. So you can see I'm pressing down on the towel. That is us trying to get out any of the excess water. So press down on all over the towel and get out as much water as you can. This actually reminds me of kneading dough or something. I feel like I should be cooking. So as I unravel the towel, you'll see that the towel has actually taken up a lot of that excess water that there was there. You can see the jumper is starting to take back its natural colour, which was that light grey. It's not heavily soaked in water. So, you know, using some elbow grease really helps, because now you can see the jumper is getting quite dry. So what you want to do is either lay the towel flat on another dry towel, the jumper flat, sorry, on another dry towel, or you can use a air drying rack. I'll leave a couple of links below of racks that can be used specifically for knitwear. This is actually a drawer from my wardrobe that I've got from IKEA. It works perfectly for drying my knitwear because it allows airflow all the way through because of the little holes in the rack, and that's really what you want when you're drying an item such as this, because you don't want it to stay very damp for very long and then get musty and not dry. I always save all the tissue paper I get from any packages because it's really helpful when the jumper is dry, not right now, but when the jumper is dry, just to fold the jumper over the tissue paper when you're storing it, because again, it will absorb any excess moisture. So tissue paper is super handy to have. And that's all there is to it, guys. So it's a lot easier than it seems. I know it's quite daunting when you see a hand wash symbol on a garment, particularly cashmere or something very delicate like a merino wool or something like that. I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, please do leave me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.